Two things you must do to achieve independence.
Greetings, fellow Ambazonians. This one na the voice for Capo Daniel, the spokesperson for Ambazonian Liberation Movement. Today at one camp for now, for can address the content of this message where it don't go viral, where it be released by one of our Ambazonian activism, Sikod Johnson, hailed from the great state of Momo. Sikod Johnson, now the boy way he be the main person of contact for TTA, the Terminators of Ambazonia, where be led by Commando, our brother and our hero, where be of late. Unfortunately, Commando, he one die, he no see the day where the ADF and the TTA then come together like one, for can share bread, pour libation, and bring all the forces then within they under them together. Before that day, for that oath swearing, we be led by General Efang of the ADF and General Savior, Captain Savior for the TTA. Commando Ibidan pass, unfortunately. But today, no be the topic for this presentation. The topic for this presentation never handle the content for this message where Sikod Johnson Idan put them for outside. So make we listen.
One thing you must avoid in order not to fail from what you seek, independence of the people of Southern Cameroon.
Something Dewe with the column for the streets for Ambazonia say Atalaku. I want to broke this message because it be very important. And for full disclosure, Sikod Johnson it done become like a friend to me, as we and he would partner for long thing right from the day for that incident for Gozang till the time for the unity between the commando picking them and the picking them for the supreme commander for the ADF General Efang. We don't know each other, we don't work together for many projects for bring our people them together. Because each time you criticize something or you bring out the truth, our people that they be misled for things say you na enemy, it means say you know want some person, you don't discuss something. No. We need to be able to challenge each other, debate issues, and define issue so that it will bring out the best in us. So wait way Sikod Johnson he don't put down for this message. Nothing will be very impactful because of his style of communication, and our people that don't be used to this type of communication. So I go get into the bottom of it as we go in front. Wanna follow me?
My name is Sikod, and today is the 28th of June, 2022.
Wait till where I want talk and for una. No be for take away from Sikod Johnson, but na for impact una with knowledge will be important for we for win. From the beginning of this liberation movement, it come at the time for Android, the generation of Android, where all man get mobile phone, any man if it talk, and there is a lot of social media experiment going on with the minds and the brain of our people them, and it then leads to a lot of confusion. We then take a lot of activism where they never take time for even study which way they talk about them, let alone for be capable for well articulate our struggle and the thing the way go bring we independent, and they then give our people a very wrong ideology where it then creates to the phenomenon where me Capo Daniel I be term am say the zamzamology. We then create a lot of misleading impression for our people them where in itself it then become a problem. This is one of the things. Activism, it be supposed to be a thing where people that they advocate, they articulate, and they push for a specific agenda. They take time for do research, for make sure they be responsible for a popular movement. But for Ambazonia, we don't get the wrong type of activism. We don't get people that don't lead our nation in activism, where they don't instead give us more harm than good. But they don't get their own positive rule for play, nevertheless. But the bad part, the way it can be impacted on our own people by people the way they don't get no benchmark for truth. For them now, just because you talk, the one talk. Now because this one be popularity, the following of popularism and all those things, it don't create the wrong impression for our mind of our people, where they now they equate chaos, they equate lockdown and social media noise for Ambazonian victory. That one now as a direct result of the type of activists that will be getting when this struggle be start. Now, if place them be quiet, our people they equate and say La Republic the win. They virtually associate chaos, disorderliness, lockdown, ghost town, chakara, all kind unnecessary things them to Ambazonian victory. And then the opposite will go naturally fill that gap, we will be for La Republic. But nobody say it's supposed to be. A liberation movement or a war for fight for decolonize a territory, now a very long-term goal, and it requires a very settled head and a proper ideology for the predications of that liberation. As we don't learn them from the ideology of the governing council, now you are the one push them today for una make una learn this thing. All those wrong ideology, Macaulay say, juvenile, intellectual expression of activism for Ambazonia. It don't lead our people to be incapable for we for surmount some hurdles and we'll get them. It will be even difficult for our leader to come out for endorse a community school project. We'll be campaign them, they will postpone them because people they not be ready because of the wrong way they don't lead them and they don't motivate them. We need to be motivated by knowledge. We need to be motivated by reasons, by logic for attain our common goal. And we need to pursue a plan, a plausible plan which will eventually lead for us achieving the goal of independence and complete freedom so that our people can live their God-given life in their own free country. Anyway, make a note of our digress. Make we focus for which way Sikod Johnson, he get for talking for we today.
And before I give you this message, I want to go on my knees.
Oh, if man take a time go down for your knees, it touch the heart of our people. It go make our authenticity man a genuine man. It do it best. Yes, Sikod Johnson feel it do it best, but it be very misleading for our people them. For make a break the thing down, I go take una directly for which way Sikod Johnson it actually want talk. Because for me, intellectually, this one na talaku. It na didn't jam with the damn box cut. Talk say open choose A, B, C, you win 1,000. Put up here before you open your eye one clear, money finish before your eye it go clear. Things are not just true because they are seen on television. Things are not facts just because it is written on a newspaper. All those old ideas we need to overcome them in this our journey for emancipation. As I do emancipation campaign, a need for me to break down these things them so that make our people them understand. I go cut and short, make I tell you the actual goal of Sikod Johnson, wait till he articulate them for year before I go come back, play the sequence as it did. When I listen for wait till he actually want talk for now, then when I go know the atalaku, when I go know the 419 we dey for inside will not allow them make our people them be derailed and be zamzamized again due to this type of activism. When I listen for the objective.
And I bet you one thing. If these people come together in a collaborative platform, I give you 4 months.
So, my fellow country people, when I hear where to Sikod, the main point it be, say if all Ambazonian leaders them come together for one collaborative platform, it give we 4 months. I no one for dwell for which we talk. I will come for day later on because I go play back which we talk. But wait when I need to understand. I say Sako when he be talk say go give it 2 million. With that amount of money, within 3 months, he will give you independence. Now say be talk. Cristiano can talk you and say he will bring tsunami and whatsoever. People that can lie Ambazonia them, deceive them. Man not even talk say deceive because some of the people them genuinely not just say they lack knowledge, they know. They never do enough research or they not be intellectually capable at this stage with the available knowledge we then get them for be able to prescribe we which will need them for our freedom. So now why that way they make all this atalaku? So the idea, say if our leader then come together in a collaborative platform for 4 months, something will happen where you go give you independence, not just complete lie, not a deception, not a talaku, where you go only make our people that make them be stupid. Anyway, make a 11 for year, make a actually play back way to way if it talk. Make una listen, we go break them one by one.
Please. Let this message go especially to the leaders of the Southern Cameroon people. From Cristiano, Mariata, Sako, Akwanga, Ayaba, Akoro, Honorable Wiba, every other leader.
The title or the name say leader, it don't be overrated, it don't be destroyed completely for Ambazonia. A leader na somebody where it lead something. There are misleaders. That means people that mislead our people. And there are people whose idea can never lead us to anything. I give you example. Chris Anu, we Marianta, na IG head. He own na say, me go no collaborate. Me go be county by county. Means no soldier, no come off a place, go for another one. For example, the way they don't treat no pity. His brother, he don't talk to me, they assassinate no pity. Say, those same people, they can't kill it. Somebody like that, the idea for any person who get logic, he go no say, no be a leader. No be a leader. No one way feel lead we. You need to lead anything. They are abandon the ARF. For come to Honorable Weber, person we either do one act we will not go ever forget them, an act of bravery in the hands of the enemy. But when it comes for liberate Ambazonia, he has completely gone out of his way. We don't wait for listen for you. Either come criticize only the IG way they be making vice president without offering any solution. The last speech we come for Germany where Sikod Bidede, I imagine say Sikod, they want push some agenda for Pudi like an alternative leader. He come for they can talk so witty. Say we no want any group. Maybe we no create any group. Say group is bad. His solution we suggest for the end as witty. He want create another group. So if group bad, why do you want create another one? All those politics shall not take us nowhere. We are in the middle of a war. You want to talk even about the other leader, then you give people like John, even John Bakuru, Bohebet. Now people they don't talk say they no one for shed blood. They no did them for any violent means for attain our independence. Now way they don't open them up talk them. That way this Swiss HDB come back. But I suggest say John Bakuru, it readjust because now person will be very flexible. But just because say you lead a group or you get an activist platform, it never make you a leader. A leader, you do like a driver. A driver na person where they drive motor. Just because you get driving license, you should don't. When they talk say, I will be driver for the motor. You know, talk say, hey, now all we for inside the motor will be driver. No, na man way hold that steering. Where they decide which direction the motor they go. When na he tell all man they sleep, na he focus, na he be driver. You cannot have one ship and you have 10 different sellers. That is not how it works. Let's listen. The generation of Honorable Weber, it is a lost generation. Nothing good shall ever come out of that generation. All your classmates, them Frundi, go up, can down. There is nothing good. Even Kas Nanyangwe, they can only be like patrons. That generation failed to fight for the freedom of Ambazonia. This new generation that is fighting, the generation of Mba or the Never Again generation, is the leading generation, and that is the generation that will free us. If there was another leadership that can come out of that group, we could have seen it by now. If you go and look their record, even Kasna and that we respect, it is somebody that I read his pamphlet, The Anglophone Crisis, that educated me and made me to be who we are today. But it is not somebody that you criticize, he will even stand. The last time he came out to blackmail ADF, we criticized him, he came out of all groups. Can you lead a movement like that when the nature of a resistance is always very nasty? No. That generation cannot lead us. That is a fact. They have their own place in our history and in our life, and our nation's life, and in this liberation. But leadership is not of that liberation. It is not after 5 years that we are going to see any of them emerge. Their time have come and gone. Let's listen.
Scarf, Bohebet, and the Ambazonian people at large. If you have never ever listened to me, listen to what I'm telling you today. We are not in a very good state of this revolution. We are failing, and we will fail, and the revolution will end totally in the next 6 months if we do not stand up.
This one is the biggest lie ever told. I don't know whether na Atalaku or na 419 or whatever it want sell and by market no go pass. Ambazonia in our history, we don't come up for a time where we'll be the only fish succeed na for go hand petition for security guard them for embassy. For day in a time where the American parliamentarian them, their senator them, their State Department, they don't with face to face. French government, their parliamentarian, they don't debate about Ambazonia. German government, they don't debate about Ambazonia, including UK parliamentarian, the famous Lord Bolton, where he talks for their parliament, say Ambazonians have the right in the name called Ambazonia to exert their sovereignty. For the first time in our history, we are controlling physical turf in Ambazonia. For the first time in our history, we are controlling areas larger than 60% of our territory dynamically without any Cameroon administrator whatsoever in our territory. We are in the best place possible to win our struggle. Cameroon have been sanctioned by German, have been sanctioned by America. Their officials them be under ban for travel. Make unanoba here. America did not acknowledge Ambazonian war under the temporary protective status where they don't award them for our people. For the first time, the international community they talk. Say if things go the way it did, this issue will be debated in the Security Council. We don't get acknowledgement for parliamentarians then, like the Basque country, we get representation inside the European Parliament for recognize our right of self-determination. We are winning, and we are winning fatly. The only confusion for people like Johnson and those way they don't derail their mindset, me them be in that Zamzam state, Then feel say when chaos it be, na the time that would win. When place quiet, it means we will lost. No, my country people. Other one na just juvenile intellectual mindset. Anyway, make we continue. Even worse, now the statement where Sikod Johnson in make am say if we not follow it the way they talk, if we don't do the way we did for 6 months, Ambazonia it go lost. What a shame! What a far from reality. I guess in already know way to way independence be predicated on, or way to Cameroon winning it actually be predicated on, or way to go on for the international community as far as diplomacy it be concerned. So me go don't talk in a lack of knowledge or lack of understanding. Nevertheless, me go listen for your own. All man he talk no. So me go listen.
But if we are to rise, please hear me on my knees. I beg you, my people. I beg you. We are failing. But there are ways.
This is funny. Sikod Johnson say Ambazonia go rise. Make somebody inform Sikod Johnson and anybody who listen for me that Ambazonia have risen. Our father of our nation, Fon Godidinka, he done declare the rising for Ambazonia for 2016 as the phenomenon called Ambazonia rising to fall no more. Even senior patriot like for Ngalafo, he done also declare 2016 as Ambazonia rising. Ambazonia rise to fall no more. So Chris, any man where they listen for this, my brother, make una know say Ambazonia have risen up. We are winning and we are winning very, very fatly. We cannot still go back and turn back the clock into the time of Zamzam activism. Activism with no purpose, without any research, without any articulation or point of reference. We need to focus on tangible leadership. We feel help we for articulate our struggle and for lead us in a way we will feel win this our liberation movement. The only thing we don't fail now the so-called county by county and Zamzamology type of activism where we be activism where they put popularity over principle. Activism where they put selfishness and fame above principle. Activism where you need to follow any track record, you need to do any research. Now you don't fail. Ambazonia, our social media page, our media page, it don't be sanitized. Unfortunately, a lot of people, the way they don't be brainwashed by this type of activism, they don't feel discouraged and they don't feel lost because they need to feel understand how to function inside a stable environment where Ambazonia they lead, even inside Ambazonia liberated areas. But anyway, may we continue to listen, we will respond accordingly.
We can come up. Let me tell you, my people, the one and only true way, or the first way, is that let every Ambazonian leader come together for collaboration. Because individually they are weak. All these leaders I have called cannot take us to independence.
So, for all the people the way Sikod Johnson call him like leader, he don't talk say none of them no fit take we for independence. That one na a fallacy, na just stupidity. Then what purpose shall we have then in bringing them together? Make una no forget say all Ambazonian leaders they be done come together. All Ambazonian nationalist movement them plus the civil society they be done come together under Skakuf, and still yet it no be give we independence. Under the leadership of Seseko, when I be emerged as a leader of Skakuf, it be done show we say if a leader it no be patriotic, if a leader na dictator, if a leader they undermine institution, even though we come together, it no go mean anything. It go actually derail us and it go give our platform for hijackers and way they go to come for bring money for the things the way that leader go to put them above the principle them. So not be just a matter of coming together, but for coming together for what? What principle? You cannot have leaders to come together and all of them will rule. You have to one of them should be in front that will lead, even in a coalition or in a collaborative unity. You must be capable to have one who can lead us. And if we cannot support the leader, or if that leader himself is not competent, a leader that would lie Ambazonia, that we have people that are going to recognize us if we form a government, a leader that is going to form a government, a leader that is going to be creating his own power base and preserving power at all costs, will also undermine our liberation movement. So unity is not everything. Ambazonians are united now more than ever before. Now only say that dominance for that IG, it don't weather away, and you get now the dominance of the Ambazonia Governing Council. So the failure where they talk am no be the failure of Ambazonia, the failure of an ideology of a so-called government within a liberation movement. And our leaders are all competent. And I think amongst all of them, we have Dr. Lucas Ayaba, will be the most articulate. His strategy for wartime, it be the perfect and institution, it be impeccable. It not be a matter of debate. Say the Ambazonian Governing Council and the current leadership of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba is the capable hands to guide us to independence. For all of our leaders to succeed, now then for collaborate and for support that leadership, whether now within a framework of a collaborative platform or through direct one-to-one collaboration, if we focus on that, we shall defeat La Republic, and we are winning, and we are moving towards that direction even now.
They do not even have the finance to take us to independence. They don't have the funding, they don't have the following, and the struggle is so divided presently.
So, if Sikod Johnson in the talk said they not get the fundings, then now which kind of funding they go get them if they come together? Even if they attract the funding, according to your own logic, La Republic already gave more funding than we. War for we now not be a competition of funding. If it be now a competition for funding, Bongas V no forever get independence. Even America no forever get independence. Even East Timor no forever get independence, let alone South Sudan. He's just wrong. Not just a fallacy where he talk him. If he talks Ambazonia are divided, no. There is the end of fight. Infighting have been declared, I think, 1 month ago. There is no fighter on the ground who is listening to anybody who is calling for infighting or who have declared a civil war. There is collaboration on the ground. Ambazonia is united today as best as it has been for the past 3 years.
Says that we cannot achieve independence by this type of division. So come together, and I bet you one thing. If these people come together in a collaborative platform, I give you 4 months. You will see sponsors coming in.
So Unaran here, the objective na say they come together in a collaborative platform. That one no be the predication for us for win or for we for be unite. We are united more than ever before. And wait away, Sikod Johnson in the proposal. This is idea, no be any idea where you get backbone or you get strong reference point them for. Not just juvenile intellectual expression of somebody will be very hyper emotional for a country, and we'll respect that. We need to undermine the intention, but it just be wrong, completely wrong, and misleading for that matter. Funding is not everything. Remember, say most of the forces them for ground actually, they never get that funding enough for them. The IG where they talk, the money where Sakobi collect them 2 million, they don't chop at all. It don't stop the fighting. The money where the Ambazonian Defense Force then raise their force. SK come out all, not only for the IG. No, you go always get people the way to go contribute. Resistance na the spirit and the rejection of Cameroon by our people. If you say no pity, you can't get that weapon and say they be contribute money again for you. No, they did not. Iran testify said no man no be giving Kong. So make we know, say all this thing where it talk not just nonsense, not just childishness. Commando self where it be work on their hand. You know, we can't stand up, get those weapons, and because they be done money again for you. No, we are in a resistance. This resistance, it be more psychological, it be more political than it be physical or militarily. Yes, we need funding. Funding is very important, but funding is not everything. Even with excessive funding, you can still lose a war or a liberation movement without the proper strategy and the proper leadership. We need proper leadership, proper leader, strategy, and roadmap more than we need fundings and guns. We have to know this.
We cannot win a war through normal contributions as offerings.
So, Sikod Johnson, where he talks, say, if we win the war if we come together because it will bring in donation. The same time, he talks, so we know if we win this war by donation, by offering. So, at the end of the day, wait till he talk, he contradict itself. It be intellectually wrong, intellectually mature, it not be logical. You know, if you talk one thing, you contradict yourself just for the make a talaku, for the draw people their attention, for guide them towards a direction where you not get no ending.
And in divided factions, we will not win. The type of materials that are in Cameroon, in southern Cameroon, married La Republic to Cameroon to mortgage all those materials and use the money to kill all our people, to have the land.
Can La Republic actually kill all of our people? No. The logic for Ambazonia victory now for sure La Republic say they cannot commit complete genocide. It has never succeeded. It has never happened. Even in Rwanda, in Germany, it has never happened. And eventually they will come to their senses. And to get to that point is not by speaking the enemy's logic to convince our people that La Republic will kill all of us or they are capable of killing all of us. They are not. Sikod Johnson, my brother, is just completely wrong. He does have it right. He doesn't have the right intellectual capacity to guide our people in a direction that they can lead them to victory. His track record has never proven that. And I think our people have to know the truth and to be equipped with knowledge, because they say knowledge is power and it can set us free. Also, lies and misinformation can destroy us and can keep us in bondage. Anyway, make good listen.
But to avert it all, war is a business. And to make the business attractive is to show that you are organized. Is to show that you have a change.
So war na business. That way Dr. Cho, if we go for London with the intention, say you want to go sell Ambazonia oil for buy weapon them. Why wanna be the talk say if go na go sell oil for na bad thing. So now see these people, they are contradicting themselves. We have to know we are on the right track, we have the right policies. We are going to defeat La Republic. They are losing by the day. They are closing shops in many places across Ambazonia, and eventually they will lose the war. Fellow Ambazonians, our situation for our territory, Ambazonia, now a situation of recolonization. Despite the accord will be getting with La Republic before the plebiscite and the approval of the plebiscite result, La Republic no be ever unite with our country. They be annex them, they don't recolonize them. So this fight will fight them, na fight for decolonization. The Ambazonian Governing Council, under the leadership of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, it can come up with several models based on research, analysis, with other studies them across the globe, and based on the model of the international system, where it then put in place a rule-based system of world order. The outcome of our roadmap will be implemented for the Governing Council in the factions in our Defense Department as well and as the Diplomatic Department. It all be based on statistics. It all be based on science-based prediction of one outcome, the outcome of independence and liberation. For we to attain this goal, we will need make all our people then focus on following this leadership and for support them and for sustain them. Every attempt by individuals them where they play politics for create an alternative leadership or leadership structure for accommodate their power greed, it no go help we for any way. Now only if we postpone or delay this independence, the earlier we all align ourselves with the leadership we feel lead we get a plan, we get workable solutions them for this our problem, the better for we. The more we allow people to distract us and divert our attention from competent leadership, the more it will only delay our liberation. Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, now the leader will be the most articulate, he be the one with the most effective plan right from day one. All the strategy them that I'm proof for be worthy. Even you look at the recommendation of people like Thibault Nach, it all boils down to the policies that have been laid down by the Ambazonian Governing Council. Recolonization, colonization, and annexation is predicated on certain facts that we know. Dismantling those facts, making our territory ungovernable, as we then pass those stages to the other phases of establishing transitional authority, taking control of our school system, taking control of basically the symbol of our nationality and many other things. Now the only way we will decolonize ourselves and for attain the recognition and for the war for empower us and recognize our right for establish the outlook of our territory through our right of self-determination. Our plans are attainable. We need the support from all Ambazonians who are patriotic. For any Ambazonia for put a country first and for put a flag first. Now for you for supporting where it go work. No be thing where it go just accommodate people their ego, for accommodate people the way they want get for power's sake, or for sit down for negotiation table for negotiation sake, or for run defense group them just for create their own power base. Any man will get power, make it take that power, make it learn them for behind this leadership where you go feel win-win. Independent struggle na a multi-phase battle, you get different departments. You get communication, you get defense, you get all the need for work in harmony and in concert. We are a diverse people. We could always be diverse. We shall never be homogeneous. We'll never be one. But we will have one purpose. And if we collaborate along this line, it will bring we big benefit. I feel tell us for diplomacy, the collaboration it can be solid than ever before. Unfortunately, I know if we divulge these things and way they go on. For defense, infighting it don't come to an end. But we will still be plagued with defense group them, where they be deceived by individual them, may they remain independent, may they no lend their support behind any political movement. One of the biggest independent forces them, they need to even fly Ambazonian flag or project Ambazonia because their mindset it can be influenced by people the way they don't know how if we reach for the destination where they go. My fellow Ambazonians, we are winning and we are winning fat. La Republic is losing ground. We don't need chaos for us to feel that we are winning. We don't need excessive lockdown that punishes our own people for us to feel we are winning. We need to resist Cameroon occupation, reject Cameroon symbols, and kick Cameroon administrators and their military out of our land. We need to conduct ourselves in a way where we go attract the right attention and sympathy for the international community for listen to our case and give us the recognition we will need them. Yes, we need the international community. If today we quote books them, law them, saying they don't give you right for independence, that writes them and that book them or the quote them, a commander for the international community. Make some man lie you. We need for show resilience and for show the international community and La Republic. Say Ambazonian rising shall fall no more. The resilience and the rejection of Cameroon shall never be reversed. Cameroon will use all strategy for convince we say they go carry out genocide, they go kill people, then they go do collective punishment, they go shake we. Make we no fear. Make we hold our ground. Make we continue for resist. Make we continue for project our nationalism until Cameroon go abandon this war. Cameroon, if it sustain this war, the economy be in shambles. They lose the benefit where they be get them from this Ambazonia and their colonization, and eventually the cost for the occupation it go pass the benefits where La Republic they reap them from this occupation. Even the British company where they be go sign contract for give them petroleum, then too they don't surrender them because the British parliamentarian they don't put effort and put pressure so they respect human rights. We don't have any choice and we cannot play games with our people. We only need for turn for Asia, for see the Rohingya Muslim people them, for see their suffering, and then we will know the pain where it will come for our people if we lose this war. We will worse past them. Because for Africa, their own ignorance, the way they ignore we, it be worse than the way they don't ignore the people them for Burma, where they don't lost their homeland to the Burmese state. Ambazonia, they don't afford for lose this war. Every person where you get hurt, you need for dig deep and for double your support for support us. Community school, they come up. La Republic, it don't fail for stop them. They don't fail for stop for put their institutions or for get parliamentarians or senator. They don't tend for chiefs, and that chiefs themselves, they don't fail them because most of those chiefs them no be Ambazonian residents them anymore. Within these 3 years, it will show that they don't get no legitimate claim for our territory. Now they try for inject intertribal war and then for turn back use their so-called elite for call for the presence of Cameroon military for justify their presence or for legitimize their presence in our territory. They don't get no legitimacy left. They don't even claim they can get parliamentarians or senators or mayors or even the chiefs behind their backs because those ones they never reach expected international representative of a state of a territory, let alone be capable for legitimize their colonization of our territory. We are winning and we are winning very fatly. Ambazonian independence is imminent, but we must do the hard work to liberate ourselves and we must act patriotically to support the right leadership, the right strategy with firm structures and institutions that is capable to deliver us the product. We all must align and realign ourselves to collaborate with the Ambazonian Governing Council for an effective liberation of our homeland. God bless you all.